Alright guys, welcome back to another tutorial for Monster Adventure Studio. We're going to be going over abilities. Abilities are secondary effects or passive effects that you use in battle. If you ever played the Pokemon games, it's going to be very familiar to you. In fact, our first one here, while I've already got it put in here, we're going to go ahead and put it in again together as what it is called in those games. And I have it as Demoralize here, but it is better known as Intimidate. It's equivalent. Alright, so first I'm going to do, make a new ability. Okay, so name is going to be Intimidate. So before we get too far into this, it's important to know exactly where we want this to go, because that helps translate into these boxes. Okay, so when we intimidate another monster, we want our monster to switch in, and we want it to freak out the other monster, and we want it to decrease their attack, right? So, intimidate upon entering battle, intimidate enemy monster, and reduce their attack by 1 stage. Okay, so let's break this down here. So upon entering battle, well, that's our first trigger, isn't it? Okay, on enter battle. So it activates when the monster enters battle or switches in. The target is not going to be us. Okay, we want to reduce the opponent's attack by 1 stage. The effect, well, we don't want to heal their HP. We want to reduce their stat. And when you click reduce stat, okay, it's going to pop up a list of them. You can click as many as you want. If you really just want to make an ability to just you can make a boss ability, just brings them down hard, you know. But we're just going to do attack for our intimidate. So chance, if you wanted this to be a chance 1 or 0 to 100%, you could do that here. But we're going to keep ours at 100% here. So for the amounts box here, all right, the one on the left is going to be stages, and the one on the right is going to be percent. Okay, for here it's automatically going to do stages. If we put in 2 stages, you notice that it will update to 2 stages. But we're not going to be OP. We're just going to reduce it by 1 stage here. So HP gates, what this is means on the left it'll work below this, and on the right it'll work above this. Okay, and I've got a little tooltip there to remind you as well. Move filters. So this is just going to say, and we'll talk about this down here in a second. This is going to say, like, if this move is used, this is going to happen. Okay. On the left here we have types, the types in your game, and on the right we have flags. So you can flag different moves as like punching moves, sound moves, status moves, and you can have your abilities scale off of them as well. For this ability, obviously we don't need any move filters or anything. For animation, I'm going to use sweat. Make them look all panicky. And we only want this to happen, we'll say once per battle. Okay, so down here at the bottom, right? So down here, you're going to notice what is pretty much plain speech. So we did this on purpose because we look, the less complicated things are, the happier everybody is. Okay, so what you're putting up here is getting translated into code on the back end, and we're kind of retranslating it into some strings here that is telling you what this is going to do. So in plain speak here, it says when entering a battle, drop the opponent's attack by 1 stage, once per battle. Okay. From there, we hit save. So if you ever are curious about what your ability is going to do, right here. So we can test this out by giving one of our starters that ability. So we're going to come over here to the monster library. Who do I got in this project? we will give Scorchirp, we will give him Demoralize or Intimidate. Yeah, we'll give him Intimidate because that's the one we just made. It's the same thing, but come down here. We'll save into Project. And we'll go run through that grass there until we find a monster. So grab my Scorchirp here. And this is what we did in the last tutorial, if you're curious on how to make the player choice. But now we got our Scorchirp. He is in our party here. Our Intimidate activates. He freaks out. Okay, his attack falls. Outstanding. All right, so we're gonna kind of free ball an ability here. We're literally just gonna create a new ability, and we'll name it after the fact. But let's just think of something here. What would be a cool ability? So how about every turn we regenerate health? All right, kind of like Regenerator. We'll call it Restoration. Restore, we'll say 2% HP every turn. So for trigger, say turn start, we'll go at turn end. Target, that's going to be us. Effect, we're going to heal HP. Okay, chance is going to be 100. And for amount, we're going to put it at 2. We could put it at more. You know, we could have them heal up to 100% if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that. Okay. This isn't any of those. Animation. Well, you know, we'll give him. Let's give him a little sparkle. Where is it going? Where is my sparkle? There it is. So let's save our ability here, and we will put this on. You know what? We will put this on Chihuahua. Chihuahua, you are getting restoration. You are moving up in the world, my man. Alright, so let's go over here. Let's choose Chihuahua this time. Speedrun. 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 Alright, so we're going to take some damage from an opposing Chihuahua. We'll quick strike. So OP. Oh, yeah, because he's got it too, doesn't he? Okay. So yeah, so the reason the wild one has it there is because if you look here, the ability I put for Chihuahua over here, and when I saved it, I can open up the one in the project so we can actually see what we're looking at, is 100%. So ability 1, 2, and 3, these are the ones that are going to appear on them at random in the wild. Okay, and we've got tooltips over here as well if you hover over it. But basically, ability 1 is going to become ability 2 on the monster that transforms into, and that one, sorry, ability 1 becomes ability 1 on the second evolution of its line, right? So Chihuahua evolves or transforms into Pubdol, which transforms into Gulfound, which if it's ability 1 on them, restoration is going to turn into whatever we have in this ability 1 slot. So let's say that maybe restoration, it turns into a super restoration. Okay, as long as that's an ability 1 slot, we're good. Same goes for 2 and 3. All right, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be absolutely ridiculous here. So let's say, let's just call one explode. Explode on battle entry. Let's just see what happens. So on enter battle, both monsters. Will damage. We'll do, we'll do 99%. Like, just straight up. It'll be a speed test at this point. Whoever outspeeds the other one wins. So we will use Fire Spit. That's a good one. Save ability, and we'll put this on Scorchirp here. Scorchirp, my guy, you're just gonna blow up now. All right, we've got our exploding Scorchirp, and we're just gonna see what happens. Here we go. Oh, poor little Macham. I'm sorry, my guy. So you'll notice that that did not work because we don't technically enter battle on our first turn, right? I would have need to do battle start here. Got our exploding Scorchirp here. Boom! All right. Guys, you can get super creative with the abilities in this engine. We haven't even touched on the held items yet. You can have a lot of fun with abilities as well. Especially if you plan on like implementing maybe like a competitive or like a high-end game mode. These things are real important. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying the engine so far. Thank you for your support. And I will see y'all in the next tutorial.